Hello, Shalligators. I look bad. I do. I look bad. And I might look as bad as you feel right now because it's post-election in the United States. I mean, it's post-election all over the world because, yeah, this presidential election is going to have big ripple away. I don't need to tell you that. We all know. Okay, we all know big things are happening. But I wanted to kind of jump on here and give us a little bit of a pep talk. And this isn't going to be about politics, and it's not going to be ranting about one side or the other, because you guys know I'm a moderate, I'm a centrist, and that means no matter what happened in this election, I was going to be fine and also in misery. Like literally either side, because that's the definition of being in the middle. You get both sides, and so you're constantly okay, but you're also constantly bad. You're just like in this low vibrational area versus people on the high ends. The highs are high and the lows are low. So I'm going to give you a pep talk because what we're seeing politically right now, I believe we can actually learn a lot from. And do you know what that lesson is? Fuck 'em. That lesson is fuck 'em, man. Fuck 'em. Fuck everyone but you. Greed is back, baby. It's going to be the era of me, me, me. And I want you to be on the forefront of this. I also want you to ignore, like I said, how bad I look. I'm sorry, my microphone is on the outside of my shirt. Do you know why? Is it because I'm not wearing a bra? Yeah, you nailed it. And what do we see? Oh, is it the ring light in the reflection on the window? So I'm gonna keep my big head in front of it as much as I can. So I'm sorry. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. You know what? It doesn't matter. This is all part of the message. Let's pretend that this is on purpose. Let's fucking rock and roll. But before we get into it, let me tell you some things we've got going on. All right, first things first. We've got Evil Meat. If you're in the New York area, please come and join me Monday, November 11th, 11/11. It's going to be more than just like a meetup. This is going to be a coven for bad bitches. This is your chance to meet elite women, form friendships, form alliances, and really connect in a deep way that like, I'm gonna hyperlapse all of your friendships, okay? I'm gonna hyperlapse all of your networking. You're not just gonna go to like, oh, the greater dental hygienist meetup in, you know, whatever, Bronxville and think you're gonna meet your best friend. No, you're gonna come, you're gonna meet our girls, you're gonna meet our level of women, and you're gonna walk away different. You're gonna walk away feeling like you have a team because that's what I do, okay? I bring people together, I make them better, I make them stronger, and I make everyone realize the most important thing of all, which is we're not alone. When you're an alpha female, it's lonely. You're moving through life in a way that you don't see a lot. You don't have a lot of examples of this. You certainly don't have an easy path to follow. Very often you're forging your own path. We're your path, okay? Even if we're all doing completely different career things or different life stages, different ages, different whatever, different backgrounds, we connect with each other on such a soul-to-soul level that doesn't matter. Just knowing that there's someone out there who views the world through your lens, they don't have to be on the exact same path. And it's actually cooler if they're not, because they're coming at you. It's like, yeah, I'm a trad wife and I'm a mom and I'm a fucking bad bitch. And you're like, absolutely, I'm in law school, I'm in grad school, I work for the city, whatever. And you guys just connect. I see it and it's incredible. So come join. We're gonna make amazing connections. We're gonna make some cocktails. We're gonna have a great old time. Link is down in the bio. There's not a ton of tickets left. There's some. But I purposely wanted to keep this a little bit smaller. So get your tickets before they sell out. So I did a video recently in the Shallon as kind of a election week pep talk. And I explored the concept of what if everyone's actually making their own choices right now? What if people are actually exactly where they elect, no pun intended, to be? What if the people we think we need to save and pull up for, what if they don't want to be saved? And I don't just mean this in terms of voting and, well, we have to save this group and we have to help that group, because that's a beautiful altruistic way to vote. And that's how I historically vote. Like, my life is pretty set. I'm a very lucky woman. I have a lot of blessings. I use my vote to help other people. I still do. I always will. But it's very frustrating when you feel like you're trying to help people who cannot help themselves, or who are too, as you see it, too dumb to vote in their own interest. And listen, I'm talking about both sides. I mean, the Republicans can say that. They're like, why do you want an open border? Liberals can say that. Why do you want to restrict abortion acts? I get it. Everybody on both sides has that feeling, okay? This is not specific to one party. But I don't want to talk about the politics of it. I want to boil that down to the micro. Your friend at brunch who never will disentangle from that fuckboy or whatever fuckboy comes after him. Your friend who's always talking about losing weight, she's ordering a spinach dip, girl. The family member, the coworker, the whatever, the person who you are like, please just listen to me and your life will be better. And you want it to be better, don't you? No, they don't. What if we could move into the radical mindset, even just try it on, just try it on for a few hours, that everyone is where they want to be? How would that feel to you? How would you move through the world differently? I'm not going to try to save my best friend. I'm not going to try to talk her out of this fuckboy. First of all, she's not going to listen. I have the data to prove that she doesn't listen. I'm not going to try to save this addict that I'm dating because he resents me for it, okay? And it doesn't even work. I'm not going to try to get my mom to leave my dad. She's never going to. I'm not going to try to get someone to do that. What if you had a whole different mindset shift and you looked at everyone through the lens of they're happy right now? They are choosing this behavior and therefore they are choosing the outcome. They have plenty of data that tells them XYZ behavior leads to ABC outcome, right? You pick up the meth pipe or I don't know, how do you do meth? Does it have to do with a light bulb? Like an empty light bulb? I saw that on Dr. Phil, I don't know. They pick up the meth bulb. They know what's going to happen. She picks up the phone and calls the fuckboy. She knows what's going to happen. They are choosing for whatever reason this outcome in their life. And what if we could say, love you bunches, babe, but you do you. How would that feel? I mean, listen, girl. Seems like it's going to feel shitty. Look what I do for a living. I like barf advice out to people like, listen to me, listen to me. But we talked about this in the Liam Payne video, how you cannot really save someone else. Either it simply doesn't work. If it worked, but they hated you, okay, well, I mean, it still worked. And like, maybe you're going to be the bad guy, but it still did work. It doesn't even work. It doesn't even work. And maybe now it's time to double down on that feeling. Because if you realize you are not out here to be Captain Save-A-Ho, and that's a beautiful altruistic thing, then what do you do with all this energy? What do you do with all this energy that you spent drafting in your notes what you're going to say to your friend to get her away from that guy and sending the long voice note to so-and-so and researching treatment centers for your ex? What would you do with that energy? What if you put it back into yourself? What if the takeaway from this election or this friendship or this relationship or this fuckboy or whatever was, you know what? I kind of feel like life is telling me it's my turn to be selfish. That all the work I'm doing for other people doesn't add up to a hill of beans. Either they don't see it, or if they do, they don't value it. Because at the end of the day, they are where they want to be. If their life didn't work for them, they wouldn't keep doing it. They wouldn't keep going back to the bottle, back to the fuckboy. For whatever reason, that is their definition of happy. I don't know why. We all have maybe those pathologies, like something we do that's toxic, and like, oh, I like it. Maybe we overspend, we oversleep, we overeat, whatever it is. You pose with a fucking ring light and back. I know, I'm sorry. But what if we could absolve ourselves of this saint-like responsibility to help everybody? And you're like, Shawn, that sounds really bad. So you're just supposed to be like, fuck everyone who's in need. No. You can still vote, volunteer, give your money. But what if there was a hard boundary? You're still going to see your best friend. And yeah, you're going to go to brunch with her and she's going to rant about Tyler again. But instead of allowing yourself to get super caught up in that and super gassed up and jump in and fix it and why are you doing this? What if you were able to be just like downshift and be like, you know what? She is where she needs to be. And it looks very different than where I would want to be. It looks very different than my definition of happiness. But for whatever reason, that is hers. What if you could free yourself from that emotional enmeshment? I'm a very selfish person. I make no illusions about that. I mean, I love my friends. it's weird. I'm like very selfish, but I'm also codependent. And I feel like you guys get that. I'm trying to honestly move more into selfishness. And this is not something women are taught to do. We're not taught to ever give up, to ever disentangle. We're taught to keep trying, keep sweet, keep small. Reduce yourself down to nothingness in order to save or help someone else. Or hey, you know what? Maybe you're not even saving them. You're just not inconveniencing them, or you're not even like triggering them that life could be better, right? I know a lot of people in this election who voted, I'll just be honest, they voted for Harris even though financially their interest was absolutely to vote for Trump. And they're like in a spiral because he won. And I'm like, girl, there's a lot of upsides to you here financially, tax-wise, like capital gains, whatever it is. And on one hand, like their beautiful bleeding heart is like, but all these other people. And that is a very female thing. That we're taught to like always look out for others, put yourself last, serve yourself last, burnt toast mom, I'll have the burnt toast, doesn't matter. What if now was our chance to be like, you know what? Okay. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. And you know what, at the end of the day, there's not a lot I can do about it, whether it's my friend with her fuckboy or whether it's the United States. I have done as much as I can. I got to move on from this. And what if where you move to is to yourself? And I also think that this is a very timely message. And I'm glad the election happened like now because we're moving into the holidays. And the holidays are the time when everyone is going to tell you what they need from you. I mean, they literally make a list of things for you to buy them. I mean, I love Christmas. I love buying gifts. But I mean, let's be honest, that's what it is. If you're a parent, well, this is what you need to bring to the pageant and the cookie swapping. Work, you need to come to the Christmas mixer. You need to do all this. I'm actually going to do a whole separate video when we talk about social climbing. I'm going to go back to social climbing. And yes, okay, the social climbing Zoom, it was great. If you were on it, it was great. But the recording shit the bed. The file was completely corrupted. I'm like melting down with Zoom on email. Like there's no rhyme or reason it should have happened. None. So I'm going to re-record that basically as a video and answer those questions for you guys, plus more. So stay tuned for that later in the week on YouTube. But we're going to talk about social climbing during the holidays. But anyway, we're going to stick to where we're at now. The holidays are a time when you get overstretched, overspent, overfed, overboozed, all of this. And then we wonder why come New Year's Eve, we're like, my life is out of control. I'm looking at this resolutions list. I'm looking at the list from last year and I feel like a loser because I haven't achieved this. When you just had this huge block of data that, hey, you know what, girl? Everyone can take from you whatever they want. You don't have the money, the time, you don't have the calories in your daily budget. Too fucking bad. You owe it to all of us because you need to make holiday magic, okay? You need to give and give and give until there's nothing left of you. And then you need to sit there on New Year's Eve and on January 1st, making a list of all the things you need to be when maybe if you had not gone into that emotional deficit at the holidays, these things wouldn't even be so prominent on your list. Get back to the gym, start that book, have some boundaries. Boom. You look at the holidays, how did that corrode that version of yourself that you're chasing for the next year? What if we could take this me first energy and we start it today? We start it today. No, I don't want to do that. No, thanks. Nope. And maybe it's not about no. Maybe it's absolutely about yeses. Yeah, you know what? I do want to do that. I'm going to say no to something and I'm going to say yes to something else because we're not about saying no to everything here. We're about saying the right kind of yeses. What if the thing that you said yes to was yourself? First, second, third, you. I live my life that way. And I got to tell you, I make a lot of enemies. I mean, I'm their enemy. They're not my enemy. I don't even clock that they exist, but I am very triggery to these people because I live how they want to be living, which is for myself. I don't live for my kids. I don't have them because I don't want to live for other people. I want to live for me. Oh, I'm selfish. I'm the childless cat lady. Fuck you, JD Vance. Okay. But I'm a happy childless cat lady. That's even scarier. That's even scarier because what the world loves to do is to tell a selfish woman, you know what, she's actually not happy. She's not happy. I gotta tell you, selfish people are actually incredibly happy. They really are. All the selfish as society deems us, the selfish women as society deems us, we are all thriving, you guys. Happy, booked, busy, paid. We're doing great out here because we know that no one comes before us. And again, the extremist counterpoint is she doesn't have a heart. She has no empathy. She doesn't care about anyone but herself. I absolutely do. I have the emotional capacity, brace yourself, to love myself and others. What? No, society wants to tell you it's one or the other. You love yourself. You're an evil, childless cat lady, gobbling up resources, not doing anything for anyone. Or you're the burnt toast mom. You're the emotional deficit person. You're reduced down to nothingness. What if neither one of those had to be true? What if you could find a balance? Listen, most people can't. I'm not going to lie to you. Most people are losers. We know this. We know this. We know this. I mean, God bless them, but they're losers. We aren't. And this is why, just going to sound like a douchebag, this channel is important. This is why the Shallontourage, my group, is important, because we cannot look at these other people, at these pigeons, as the eagles we are, and compare ourselves. Because we're never going to understand how they move. The difference is just too great. We have to stay eagle energy and eagle focused with each other. So I want this to be your manifesto of selfishness. Just try it. Just try it. Because liberals, come closer, come closer. I want to talk to you about something. Girl, I want to talk to you about something. Do you think sometimes you hate the MAGA crowd because, just hear me out, there's an element of jealousy. Why the fuck did these people get to vote just for themselves and they don't have to think about anyone else? They only think about themselves? Are they triggering because they remind you of selfish people you know in your life? And are those selfish people on the micro triggering because on some level you want to be them? You want to have that selfishness and say, I don't fucking care about anyone but me. I would never blame you if that's how you felt. Who wouldn't feel that way? Who looks at someone living for themselves, thinking only for themselves, unburdened by other concepts and empathy? And I'm not saying that Republicans have no empathy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the people on the micro that they're looking at. And they are J.D. Vancing these people and thinking they're so selfish, they're sad. And this is not me saying Republicans have no empathy. That's not the takeaway. I'm saying, do you look at people that you view as selfish and you tell yourself, well, how great that they don't care about anyone, that they have no empathy? What if you're miscalculating these people the way the J.D. Vances miscalculate us childless cat ladies as like evil or sad or whatever? And it's like, maybe those selfish people who trigger you, maybe they're triggering you because you wish you had those boundaries. And you wish you didn't have this weird codependence with your friends and the fuckboys and the exes and the drugs and whatever it is. Listen, girl. The election outcome's not going to change. I'm talking to you liberals still again. It's not going to change. What can we take from this? What can we take from this? Maybe it's time to look at the other side and be like, you know what? They actually seem really happy. They're red hats. They're focused on themselves and their family and their town, and that's it. They don't give a fuck about Ukraine or Palestine or Crimea or Taiwan, whatever. They don't fucking care. And they sleep great at night. And again, this is not don't care about people who are disenfranchised. Don't care about issues. Vote how you're going to vote. Feel how you feel about these things. I'm talking, take this into your personal life, which is arguably worse. Like, it's worse from the standpoint, like, people don't want women to be selfish. I hope this video is making any sense. We're just kind of in a new frontier of discombobulation right now, so I'm sorry. What if we were just allowed to be selfish? And you know what? You want to be selfish? Come to St. Bart's. We have like 4 spaces left for my St. Bart's trip that's in February. It's selling. Girl, you deserve something for yourself, okay? You deserve a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and that's what this is. This isn't the trip that you take every year. This isn't the trip you even take every 5 years. This is an elite, exclusive, blow-it-out, luxury, incredible girls' trip from hell.
I think it was.
Like the best hell ever. Hell full of like glamorous, expensive drinks and glamorous, expensive men on glamorous, expensive boats. St. Bart's is a very exclusive place. You can't really just like rock around there by yourself and do it right. And I'm sorry, good luck finding other friends who want to do it the way I will do it with a bunch of bad bitch alpha females. Like, girl, come. It's going to sell out. So don't miss out. Click down below. The link's there. You can chat with the girls from Little Blue Door who are organizing it. They're like amazing. And they're like so incredibly glamorous. I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, would they get on the internet looking like this? No, they actually would not. So I'm like, come bathe in the glamour of me in a recliner and a Guns N' Roses t-shirt. I promise the trip will be better than I look. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, what if you started this selfishness journey now, today, in the wake of the election, in the wake of a trip to St. Bart's, in the wake of Evil Meat in New York City? What if you're like, I deserve something. I deserve something. Stop waiting for people to give you what you deserve. You must take it. And if there's one thing Trump is good at, it's taking things. I mean, he grabs stuff, but you know. And I think that that's part of his appeal, is the common man, or not even the common man. People look at him and they're like, fuck yeah. Like, that's the energy I want. The world is mine. I'm going to take from it what I want. And maybe people who are liberal, I mean, I used to despise, I still do. He's so fucking gross. But like, it was triggering for me because I'm like, how dare you? How dare he gets to act like that? Hold on. What I started asking myself is, why can't I? And maybe I can act like that, but still have a moral compass, still try to help people. But hey, make no mistake, Shallon comes first. And listen, Caitlyn comes first. Hannah comes first. Olivia comes first. Alex comes first. All of y'all come first. And that's great. That's great. We all have our own emotional properties and our own emotional fence lines. And me building my fence and beautifying my emotional real estate doesn't take anything off your plate, girl. And vice versa. I want you to do that. I want this neighborhood of alpha females to be full of beautiful properties. This metaphor is getting away from me, but you see what I'm saying. It's time to be selfish. It's time to stop saving people. It's time to realize that people are where they are because they choose it. The people in our lives, I mean, the people, I'm not talking about like a war refugee in Kazakhstan. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about like the people we know. Enough. Enough. And this is hard. It's hard when you're caring. It's also really hard when you're smart. Because you're like, if you would just listen to me, I know. But why don't we turn that energy inward? Just try it. Just try it. Make this day the start of your selfishness revolution. You come first. And you practice saying what I said in the beginning of the video. Fuck them. Like, I love my family, and they might want me to have kids. Sorry, but like with love, fuck them. I can't. This is my life. This is my path. You might love your coworker. She's your work wife. There's a promotion. Fuck them. Sorry, I got to go for it. If it's going to be you or me, it's going to be me, girl. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Because the people who are saying that are living really good lives. They're living really good lives. And you're like, but they're not changing the world. They're not making the world better. What if they are? What if the selfish have enough emotional bandwidth and they have enough power and enough focus that they're creating something that does change the world? And they're being a light and a beacon for other people. And you know what? Maybe they're not changing the world, and maybe they don't need to. Maybe they don't care to. And maybe the world they care about changing is very small. It's theirs. It's them and theirs, their family, their self, their surroundings. And what if they were allowed to just be self-focused? Because you know what that means? You are allowed to be self-focused too. Maybe you don't need to change the world, and you don't need to save people on the micro or the macro. What if you could just try on this mindset Just see what comes up. Journal it out. Try it. All great change comes from a mindset shift. And all mindset shifts kind of come from something bad. They come from something disruptive, something that's like not working anymore, something that's deeply upsetting, deeply disillusionmenting. They come from those places. So what if how you're feeling right now, if you're upset about the election, is not where it ends? What if this is where something starts? What if this is where the great selfishness revolution of you gets to begin? Just try it. Come on in, girl. The water in the lake of selfishness is just fine. Let me know what you guys have to say. Speaking of water, like I said, join me in St. Bart's. It's going to be unbelievable. It's one of my favorite places. It is an elite, exclusive trip. It's my most intimate trip ever. Only 8 people. I really wanted it to be like a girl gang. And also when you keep the group small, it's easier to finesse your way onto yachts versus like rocking around with like 25 people. It's like, oh, it's just us. Oh my God, it's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna sell out. Definitely hurry and book your spot down below. Do something for yourself. Do something for yourself, man. Also, if you want to connect with other alpha females, meet me in New York on 11/11. Link is down below. We're probably going to sell that out too. It's also another intimate group because, again, I want you guys to make real and lasting connections, alliances, truly supercharge your friendships, your networking power, your career, your connections. New York can be a really lonely place, but not when you've got me and a bunch of other Shalligators on your side. And if you want to binge Eva Week this year and learn the art of ruthless social climbing, girl, I got you. It's exclusive in the Shallon. Click down below and connect with hundreds and hundreds of alpha females all over the world. We chit chat all day long. Tons of pep talks and advice videos in there for anything that ails you. Lots of rants. And I talk a lot about sex. Slutty Saturday, it's a whole day. All right, Shalligators, I love you and I'll see you later.